Hey, it's Chronologically Gaming, the only channel that's perpetually retro because we're playing every video game in order of release. Enough chit-chat, let's get to the games. We last weren't playing anything, we were reading the latest issue of Computer Gaming World. Let's see where we're going now. It's time to go to the United Kingdom and play the Sinclair ZX Spectrum, and this is Conflict. Let's take a look at Conflict, starting with the box cartridge. I'm pretty sure this came in a box because there's a lot of pieces inside this. Conflict is the very first Sinclair ZX Spectrum computer/board game. It has both, which means I'm not going to be able to do it justice because I don't have all the pieces and the board in front of me. It's an exciting and challenging computer game, a total war for two players involving both machinery, armies, warships, missiles, and finance. That's what's been missing. We needed to do the finance in war. Stock market oil piracy of Conflict. I like how it says down here in the bottom, I enjoyed this strategy game as it made me think, rather than letting the computer do all the work as so many other new computer games do. I don't think, maybe I gotta adjust shift my spectrum here. I thought the whole point was we wanted the computer to do more and we do less. So that's really funny they put it on the front of the box. This is if you really want to think and you don't want the computer to do as much. So this has two different sides of the cassette and it shows a little bit of what's inside the box. There's a lot to this one. This is also available for the ZX81, but we'll be playing only the ZX Spectrum. Yeah, I can already see the talk of what's coming up next. Let's see the other artwork we have for Conflict. Inside the box, we have the map of the full board, showing you the different, where the sequences are going to go, or the pegs that you'll put down. And then we also have the oil survey map, because you'll be digging for oil because you got to fund the conflict or the battle. Inside the box is the cassette tape. You can see the different maps, and then you have these little chips that you put down, little plastic chips that you're going to be using on the board. There's our cassette. We're going to pop in the cassette player, and then if you have the whole spread, this is what it looks like inside the box of Conflict. Lots to do in here. It reminds me of something you get by SSI or Avalon Hill. Look at that, all of the pieces that go involved with the game. So you can't just play the video game itself. It is a board game and a video game. So how are we going to do it? I'll do the best we can. Let's take a look at the inside sleeve. This tells you what Conflict's all about. The board on the left side breaks down where the pieces are going to go using the perimeter, border line, and city wall. And then this is the beginning of the game. There's no pieces on the board, and the object of the game, or the end game, is march an army into the enemy city, or occupy a large portion of the enemy territory after a prearranged number of moves. So you and another player, because there is no artificial intelligence for this game, you have to have another person who's willing to invest the time to play a board game and a computer game with you. You raise and maintain army units, which march toward the enemy city, defeating any opposing army units. To do this requires skill, luck, and money. And how do you get money? Well, you drill. You look for oil. You also use the market the best you can, and then buy and capture ships. How do you start the conflict? Well, you have one player who's leader A and one player who's leader B. In the game, you just don't put your name in, you just go by, I'll be leader A and my buddy will go as leader B. And then you look at the oil survey map, so you use that board to put your pieces down and drill for certain places and search for oil. The computer will tell you if you found oil or not. And then the players will figure out when the end game happens because we decide how many turns we want to play. Until you get bored, I guess. So it then breaks down how to play the game. Leader 8 makes their moves, and you do your turns, and then you switch over hot seat style, doing the other side. This is one of the few games that is not just the board game side. You have to do some calculations too that the computer doesn't do. So you have to use your mind. Get your mind in the game. All right, so we go down to the next section. This is about the how units can move around, and you're going to have to do this on the board. It doesn't happen in the game. There is no graphics for the game. It is essentially moving the pieces on the board in front of you. And how you can strike oil, what it means whenever you see what's displayed on the screen. So there's a lot of complications for this one, especially for a ZX Spectrum game. But as far as video games go, it's not doing as much as we've seen on other releases for home computers. All right, so you can see it's pretty lengthy. It takes a while to get used to. You'd be spending some time reading the manual, especially if you have someone else with you that wants to play. They do have some tips and tricks there, points to bear in mind over on the left side, and then some notes. You will be having a notepad with you to make progress or not make progress. All right, so let's pop in and play Conflict by D.E. Martin, published by Martech Games at sometime in July 1982. There you go, the tactical war game for two players. You got someone that's ready to play? I hope so. Let's push any key to continue on our ZX Spectrum keyboard. So leader A is going to go first, And whenever leader A's here, you sit them down at the ZX Spectrum, and then you say, okay, I'm ready to make my decisions. You take all the turns. What's happening first? All right, so you have the in reserves 25,000, I'm guessing pounds. They don't have the symbol there. Do you want to trade? Yes. Yes, we do. How much gold do we want? Let's do 10 gold. You can see the price there. Since we got 25,000, we're good doing gold. Silver, let's do 20 silver. I'll do 10 copper, and then let's go with 50 iron. You got to have some resources because this is going to help you drill, and once you can drill and get oil, then you're going to make more money so you can buy ships, and you use those ships to go take out other enemy ships and then try to take as much territory as possible. In a way, the end goal or end game is pretty bare bones. Just take up as much territory as possible. Okay, so press any key to continue. Do we want army units? Yes, we do. Let's do 5 army units. And, oh, for maintenance, I'm sorry. And then army units, we want to purchase, let's do 7. Warships, let's do 9. Uh-oh, insufficient. Yeah, I kind of overdid it. Sorry, too much money. Or not enough money, I mean. All right, so let's try it again. Army units, let's go 4, and I'll just do 1 warship. There we go. So I got that much left, 15,400. And then they have the reserves, and shows us our revenue. Pressing any key to continue shows us which direction the wind's going and the force, because this affects how you move your tokens around the board. Press any key to continue. All right, oil exploration for leader A. It has the oil survey. It costs $5,000. You can test an area to drill, and this is again your pieces on that little oil map you have. And if you want to do none, you push nothing. So we're going to say nope. I don't want to drill right now. Shows you our number of reserves, number of wells, and it's lots of stats because this doesn't have graphics. It's all text, everything that's displayed on the screen. Pushing you key to continue, and now you can go ahead and capture ships, capture oil wells that the other player might have, send missiles out, have a sea battle, do nothing, or save the game. So if I say none, then it's going to go right to a ship carrying copper has been sighted, coordinates S8, and this is where you're moving the tokens around on the board itself. Now you hot swap. Your buddy sits down in the seat. They're now leader B, and I'm ready. They didn't do any passwords like we've seen with other strategy games. You're just having to trust that they're not looking at the screen. And so you do the same process all over again. So I'm going to leave the game at this moment and just tell you that because you have to do more calculations and you have to have the board game, I wouldn't be able to do this one justice. I am not sure that Wargaming Scribe has destroyed this game and broke it down, because it's very hard to come by, and it's one of the first games that was released for the ZX Spectrum. It's a massive one though, very complex. So as far as conflict goes, I'd say of all the home computer games, it's not really up to snuff. I'm going to go down in the bad range and say it's a 2-star game if you think of every other game you could be playing on a home computer. And considering the other strategy games that are out there, the board game / computer game is still slightly in, but it's on its way out. And this game even boasts, we don't want you to be using the computer as much. We want you to play on the board and use your brain. So I'm going to say bad. Yeah, Errol's with me on that too. All right, nice little time capsule there. Let's see where we're going next. After this commercial break.
Check. Cosmic Arc cartridge. Check.
Check.
Power. Yeah, power.
Cosmic Arc is a game cartridge for the Atari video system.
Meteor! I got it!
The Cosmic Arc
Yes.
searches out strange creatures on distant planets.
Beam them up!
But the deeper the
Oh,
arc
so
travels
cool.
in space, the tougher it gets.
You may never get back out! Boys, clean your room. We're back.
Cosmic Arc by Imagic.
That kid is
The
awesome.
video system must be bought separately.
I need to do that when we play the game for Cosmic Arc. This is Cosmic Arc for the Atari VCS. I like how they were playing and they're like, we're never going to be able to get back home. And mom says it's time to do something, so we got to go home. All right, let's take a look at the box for Cosmic Arc. I gotta admit that the Cosmic Arc is the second game by Imagic, and this is the reconstructed one because the original had this awesome sheen, gloss to it. And whenever you do scans nowadays, or look back with scans, they don't really do it justice. So I have to go reconstruct it here. It looks nice and shiny, kind of like what you would have seen if you had the Imagic box. Look at that. Front of the box is sci-fi all the way. You got the tractor beam showing you what you're going to be doing, and this is one of the first games where you can actually see a tractor beam do what it needs to. A lot of times video games just say there is a tractor beam, but you actually can see it one of the first times. Pretty cool. Let's flip it over on the back. Cosmic Arc. This is the sequel to Atlantis. If you remember at the end of Atlantis, whenever you had the game over, a little ship is flying away. Now you get to play as that ship and rescue more people. The sun of Alpha Rho is fading fast. Soon it will flicker out. The cosmic arc races to save creatures from doomed planets in that solar system. Meteor showers bombard the arc, threatening its Atlantean crew. Atlantean crew. And planetary defense systems make this mission of mercy doubly treacherous. Time and injury slip away. Work fast, or these defenseless little beasties will disappear for all time. So we're on a rescue mission. This is a 1- and 2-player game, and it does it, I would say, a little bit better than Atlantis for the co-op side, where one player can be controlling the ship, shooting the lasers, just like Space Zap, and at the same time, one person is down on the planet's surface using the tractor beam. Very cool. It is little Ralphie, isn't it? I didn't think of that. He's got the same glasses on, but I guess the backwards cap makes him look cooler. Oh yeah, he's awesome. Go, go, go! Let's see the other artwork we have for Cosmic Arc. So there you go. There's an actual scan, and you can see how it's a little faded, cracked, but the original had this really cool sheen to it. Yeah, there's the reconstructed from the PAL region, not the NTSC. I wonder if they knew that. It says PAL Cosmic Arc. Did they know they were in the PAL region? Was it more popular? Because I know in North America, I didn't hear about what NTSC was until I was in my 20s. And then we have the back of the box, the actual scan. Give us some examples of the screenshot showing the 2 different scenes, because this one has it's Space Zap and then more. And then we also had the back of the box in Europe with the multiple languages. And there's the ad you would have seen in magazines at the time with a cool offer by Imagic. The double play, a buy one, get one free. This is the second release that we've seen by Imagic, and we're going to be seeing the other ones, Riddle of the Sphinx, Firefighter, and I think, yeah, those are the other ones that we'll be seeing later. And what does that say? Oh, that's through 1983. The future. There's the cartridge we're going to pop in. As usual, any third party that comes out on Atari has their own kind of style of cartridge. And everyone had their favorite one. What was the cool one that you like to feel in your hand and put in the Atari VCS? That's right. Never judge a book by its cover, but always judge the 2600 cartridge. I am totally with you. And Imagic does it justice. Looks great. We have the manual for Cosmic Arc. Let's see what they have to say about the game itself. This is exactly the same as what we read in the description on the back of the box for Alpha Rho. Saving them. The Cosmic Arc traveled thousands of light years in order to preserve the many exotic species of the Alpha Rho solar system. We get to go to the different planets. When that sun nova dies, life on planets there will wither and die. Nothing about the mission's easy. Heavy meteor activity throughout the system makes travel hazardous. Each planet has an automatic defense system that cannot be knocked out. Can the Ark succeed in saving the many helpless creatures of Alpha Rho? Does the manual tell us what the creatures are called? I've always wanted to know, because when I played this, I would make up my name for what kind of aliens we're picking up. So you pilot the Cosmic Arc through dangerous territory, destroy meteors that come too close. You score each time you eliminate a meteor. If you survive the meteor shower, you'll launch a shuttle to the surface of the planet. So essentially you get to play Space Zap, which has been a game in itself, and then a whole nother scene. So you get 2 games. Pretty much. Be careful, automatic planetary defense system attempts to disable the shuttle ship, releasing your precious cargo before you can safely transport them to the Ark. Reach as many planets as your fuel reserves allow, so they got fuel again. Kind of like the time constraint. Game ends when you've exhausted your store of fuel. There's the example of a screenshot right above my head with the Meteor Cosmic Arc Fire. That's the first scene. And then the console controls, let's see if it does anything different. You can flip to choose 6 different games or variations. Game number appears at the bottom screen, and then it doesn't say anything about difficulty switches there. So it must not do anything. The Imagic is one of the best third-party publishers for the Atari VCS. You can tell because of the quality of their manual. That's one way, and then the games itself. Cosmic Arc moves in 2 distinct sections, the meteor shower and the shuttle ship rescue. If you survive the meteor shower, Cosmic Arc proceeds to the nearest planet, and the Ark's in position. Use the joystick to launch the shuttle ship from the planet's surface. You move easily, move the joystick around, and when you want to use that tractor beam, you hold down the red button. Try to catch both beasties, return to the Ark, and then a warning blast lets you know there's going to be meteor activity while you're on the planet. Automatic planetary defense systems will fire at the shuttle ship, and I always hated those. They always got me, every single time. Oh, the M-Network cartridges I just saw in the chat. Yeah, those are pretty cool. Everyone's got their favorite one on the VCS. All right, game ends when a Cosmic Arc runs out of fuel. Red bar at the bottom lower center, so it just means you can't spend a lot of time, because the beasties, they apparently don't want to go home. They always run away from you. You begin the equivalent of 40 fuel units, and you destroy a meteor, you gain 1 fuel. So destroying meteors gives you fuel. That's right. The scoring points are on the top right of the manual, and then we have 1-player and 2-player games and 2-player cooperative action. In 2-player games, 1-player battles meteor showers while the other controls the shuttle ship. Because whenever you play by yourself, you have to get back in the ship whenever you hear the sirens because the meteors are going to start attacking the ship. But when you have 2 people, you can work together. Really, really fun. And that's it. Designed by Rob Fulop. Way to go, Rob. We have a lot of different versions. It was in North America and in Europe. We have the white label version in Europe, and we also have another one that was done by Eckhard Stolberg and another one released by CCE. We're going to play the first one by Rob Fulop of Imagic at sometime in July 1982. Oh yeah, I never owned the box itself. I only saw from museums or other collectors of the Atari that had one of the really nice shiny boxes of Imagic. Look at this presentation. Now, Atari always does this. They make it like an arcade game. It does in a slide attract mode. This one is really, really impressive. Showing you the 2 different scenes, and it's silent, so it doesn't have the sound, but it already is boasting how to play the game. Now, they didn't give you the grid in the manual to show you the different game variations. We're just going to go with the first one and push reset. Let's go. So the first scene just has you moving the joystick where you need to go, which is a nice touch. When you played Space Zap or other variations of it, you had to push the button and the direction you wanted to go. Then you move on to the next scene, and I'm controlling the space shuttle, just moving around with the joystick. Hold down the red button to tractor beam them up, and then get up in the ship. If you're fast enough, you go back to the next scene, and it progressively gets faster and faster and faster. Loving the starfield in the background. Forgot how nice it looks. And then we got the planetary defense systems. Got the first one. I never could pin those down. The planetary defense systems felt like you could figure out when they're going to zap you, but then sometimes it would be just random. Oh, yeah, their sprites seem to be thicker, slightly more colorful. Like, look at the shading variation on the ship. It reminds me of something that Activision would do. And here we go. Get out of the way. We're now on the next planet. You can see the aliens have changed, and the manual didn't tell us. I guess we'll have to make up the names of the aliens as we go planet to planet. One of them looks like E.T., but bear in mind we haven't seen the E.T. game yet. The movie's out there, so maybe they based it on that. All right. Without the scrolling. If it was Shoplifter and had a baby, it'd be sans the scrolling. Come on. Go into your home. Don't you want to go home? I just want to leave these aliens. Oh, there's the alarm system. Here they come. We got one of them who pop. Wow, it's so much fun. Fast-paced, and then has a totally different game mode. This one looks like the lizard planet. Oh, they got me. The planetary defense system. So fast. Nope. Come here. Oh, there's the alarm. Alarm goes off. We're going to have to hit at least one meteor. There it is. And they come at you so quick. It feels really satisfying whenever you make the... Look at this. It almost feels like you're playing a rapid-fire version of Simon. They change up the colors of the planet. Sound effects are well done. And if I had a guest here on the show tonight, this would be an excellent title, to play 2 working together at the same time. To play like little Alfie. Ah! That's what happens when it goes faster and faster. There it is. Is this the E.T. looking aliens? Come on, go! You're in the planetary defense system. Why are we saving these mindless aliens? No, that's right. I don't know if I'd call it a quick time event, though. That doesn't give it justice. It is quick, but it has multiple... It's not giving you a prompt on the screen. I would say a quick time event needs to have something to say. Push the red button, or L, or R, of where you move the joystick. Nope. Go. That's it. Go, go, go. I just saw, Manly, yeah, the stars happened because of the arcade. And that first began with Galaxian. Or possibly Astro Fighter. The star field just gets more and more complex. Look how pretty that is. It's so colorful and bright. Oh, this game is a blast. Now, I would give of the two games in the series for Atlantis, I'd say Atlantis is the less polished or the less... it's still very good, but I'd give this the nod of the two games. If I had to pick one over the other, I'd say Cosmic Arc is the better of the two. The multiple game modes. Ugh. Oh, and that red meteor. Man, it's so fast, I love it. There we go. Wow. Yeah, graphically it's good. Think of everything we've seen on a home console, too. Of all the games you could play on a home console, what would you give this game? Is this pretty average for July 1982? Above average? Or is this one of the best games you could play on a home console? Think of everything on... Oh, see, you gotta get back on the ship when the alarm goes off, or your ship goes down. And we're back in space. Wow. There we go! And that ship was really, really tiny when we played Atlantis as it flew away. It has still a capsule at the time. Nice. Yes, all your friends want to come over and see that one. Yeah, I'm with you on that. I'm seeing 3.5 and 4 stars. So what would you say for Cosmic Arc? I would say this is better than Atlantis. Both are very good games and offer cooperative play. Cosmic Arc, though, gets the nod. We gave Atlantis 3.5. So I'd say for Cosmic Arc, definitely going to start at 4 and then work my way up from there. Yeah, 4 at the time. Very, very colorful. And as far as console games go, this one is a very well-done game. So I'm going to say Cosmic Arc is a 4-star title of all the games you could play on a home console. Very nice. Well done, Imagic. Yeah, 4 stars all around. Then let's see what our next game is. It's time to go to the United Kingdom again and play the Sinclair ZX Spectrum, and this is Cosmos. Let's see Cosmos. Starting with the cassette cartridge. Oh my goodness, it's so crystal clear. That's the best reconstructed box I've ever seen. It looks like it's brand new. Cosmos, the ultimate challenge. This is not to be confused with Cosmos that we saw in the arcades in 1981. This is a completely different property. This is by Abex, the games people. And this one works. Hey, look at that. On the front of this box, it has 16 or 48K, but this game will work on the lower end model of the Spectrum, the 16K version. And flip it over the mag, you can see, yeah, it's just a cassette box. Let's see the other artwork we have for Cosmos. This is another flavor that you would have seen around the same time. I think this was the first one before Abex gave it a different, shinier box like we saw before, with an example of the title screen on the front of the box. I think that is one of the first times we've seen the title of a game here. We've seen games like Planetoid on the BBC Micro show you a screenshot of the game, and then of course we've seen screenshots of video games of the gameplay, but not the title. Interesting choice, Abex. And then we have an example of more in the box with the cassette tape we're going to pop in by Abex. All right, this one has a few different flavors that were possible. We're going to play the very first one that was available. This is by Costa Panaghi. Apologies if I pronounced that incorrectly. By Abex Electronics and Vortex Software at some time in July 1982. So if you ordered your ZX Spectrum, you'd be playing this right now. Oh, what's that? You don't have your ZX Spectrum yet? Just give it probably 3 more months, then you'll be able to play this game. Some people are still waiting for their ZX Spectrum after they ordered it. That Clive Sinclair is getting all the money and then just slowly presenting the system. Okay, stop the tape recorder. Do you want instructions? Yes, we do. This is another game that's also available on the ZX81, but we are going to be playing only the ZX Spectrum version. So the Cosmos scenario is, you're the pilot of an advanced Defender-class starship. You must protect convoys of sub-light-speed cargo vessels from hostile alien and natural dangers. A quadrant of space, which is 3x3 sectors, is placed under your control, with a convoy of 9 ships in the center. Use your view screen, you can see the equivalent area on one sector, and the manipulation of the view screen of all 9 sectors can be observed. Your starship computer is programmed to give advanced warning of all imminent hazards or threats. Scroll? Yes, we would like to scroll. Oh, nice touch. This area of space is subject to frequent asteroid showers, which are known to drift horizontally from the left or right ends of the quadrant. It's also known that 18 alien robot ships will enter your quadrant, and they will not stop at nothing to see the convoy destroyed. So it's another protection mission. As the alien ships attack, they lay deadly war mines to destroy your starship and leave the convoy to the mercy of the asteroids. Using 2 powerful lasers, you must destroy the aliens before all is lost. Interesting. The first screen said, do you want to scroll? And we say Y to scroll. Then the next one just goes to this screen. So it doesn't. Anyway, minor interesting, just very interesting. So here's our screen layout. We have the view screen, our cursor. This is a space combat screen from a first-person perspective. Laser power indicator, status reports, nice. Wow, what a really impressive tutorial. Flashes when asteroids enter the quadrant, number of convoy ships that are left, number of alien ships in the quadrant, flashes when the defense shield is lost due to 3 warp mine detonations, and then 1 more and it's fatal. Where's that? Okay, part 4, if we see that one flash. And then we have the characters. Asteroids look like that. Alien robot ships look like TIE fighters, as they should. The convoy ship and the alien warp mine. 4 hits destroy, so you got to make sure you get rid of those mines. Wow, I'm really impressed with this tutorial. This is the second game we played on the ZX Spectrum that has a really good tutorial. Here's the keyboard layout, and if you're not familiar, there is an overlay of the Sinclair ZX Spectrum keyboard. If you want to look at the controls. If you want to go up, just push anything on the top row and you'll go up. If you want to go left, push anything on the bottom row on the left, and then the middle row on the left, and then the middle row on the right. So it's all those keys. And if you want to go down, it's the entire bottom of the 3rd row down. And then you have 2 different firing mechanisms. So just bear in mind, this allows you to move the view screen diagonally around because it's most of the time these are not allowing you to have multiple keys pushed at once, particularly when you use the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 keys, which are the cursor keys. So this is pretty ingenious, but it looks kind of funny to say, just push anything and you can go up. Oh yes. The Lodestar ones, we haven't seen, we don't know what you're talking about with when you say Commodore 64. It is right on the cusp, but we haven't seen our first game or the release of it just yet. But it is coming up very soon. All right, so press any key to continue. Everyone got the controls? If you want to repeat instructions, we don't. Let's go play some Cosmos. Stop the tape. And we're ready to go. Bear in mind, this is available on the 16K version of the ZX Spectrum. There's our convoys in the middle. All right, there's our lasers. Nice. Oh, here come the asteroids. Protect them. Wow. That's tough. How in the world are you going to be able to do... So can I do 2 shots at once? Let's see. No, I can only do 1 shot at a time. And then my laser's on the bottom right showing me if it's overheating or not. Take a look at the viewport in the bottom left. That's pretty cool. The radar, I'm probably going to lose my convoys, but watch as I move around in the bottom left side. Wow. That is really, really nice. For the ZX Spectrum, showing that. And then while we're playing on a space combat game, it's first person, it doesn't feel as much 3D, but I still enjoy the radar. That's pretty cool. So how many convoys do we have left as I was just wandering around? It shows us there. Oh, there they are. Get them. The TIE fighters are here. Where's my sound effects? Don't adjust your screen. Oh, we got one. Nice. Or don't adjust your audio. There is no sound coming out, so we have no laser blast. But the ZX Spectrum does have an internal beeper. It's just a notch above. Oh, I see. So if you fly the cursor by one of the mines, that's how you get hit. And down at the bottom, you can see telling us how many mines we've hit before it's game over. That's interesting. So it's just moving the cursor around. Does anything? Yeah, nothing happens there. I wonder if this was programmed first on the ZX81 with no sound, and then they brought it over to the ZX Spectrum and didn't add any more bleeps and bloops. That's why we're getting total silence, as if we're playing a ZX81 game. Yeah, very, very difficult. Oh my gosh, look how many ships are here. Wow. This is insane. And they're leaving mines behind. Looks like it was a swarm of ships that flew through the quadrant and they're gone. Now look, I only got 1 convoy left. Wow. All right, I must protect it with my life. It just feels so silent in space. As it should be. Maybe they're going for realism here. They watched 2001: A Space Odyssey one too many times. There it is. All the convoys destroyed. Push any key to start over again, and then it loops again. Well, I got to tell you, I'm very impressed. This is running on the 16K version or the lower end model of the ZX Spectrum, not the 48K. And as a space combat simulator, it's obviously not playing into the realism of flying around in space. It's essentially you can move a cursor around. But the way they have the controls designed give you the diagonal movement and a little bit faster movement too. Just imagine you're on that spongy keyboard of the ZX Spectrum. Cool. So it's an action-style space game. We've seen so many strategy games. I was expecting this to have a Star Trek variant feel, but it does not. So fresh take. Cosmos is something different. You are protecting, or trying to protect convoys, which we did a terrible job, but I still say that's pretty fun for the time. Of all the games you can play on a home computer, Cosmos is around the average range for what you expect to see. Because of the fresh idea, and it is very, very difficult, and because of how well it's programmed for the ZX Spectrum, I still say it's a good time. Oh yeah, definitely play Star Raiders way before this one. If this is what you had on the ZX Spectrum, though, this would be not your go-to for a Star Raiders way to play, but it would be a game that you would want to get in a space theme. It kind of reminds me of one game we played on the Commodore PET, where you're just moving the cursor around and shooting ships. But this one has a little bit more complexity to it. The interface is really nice. All right, yeah, that's a good point, because it was on the 16K. That makes sense. That's probably what it was. You didn't have enough memory to get the sound in. So I'm going to give it props. Cosmos is a good time. I want to say 3.5 stars for all the games you could play right now on a home computer. It's all right. Challenging, but a good time. Above average for sure. All right, and with that, let's see our next game. We're now on the Commodore VIC-20, still in the United Kingdom, and this is Crazy Climber. I told you we'd be seeing this one again. This is part of a compilation. It had Applebug and Crazy Climber. We already saw Applebug, which was oh man, it was a painful Pac-Man variant. We're going to see what happens with Crazy Climber, though. This 2-pack is hopefully not going to live up to the usual, let's make a compilation that's terrible in the United Kingdom. As far as the artwork goes, let's pop it and play Crazy Climber by Peter Milligan, published by Liversoft at some time in July 1982. This was available on both cassette and disc, and just for the fun of it, I'm playing on the disc version because I just think it's asinine that anyone would have the disc version of, or a disc to play the Commodore VIC-20 in the United Kingdom right now. You would be the super rich trying to do that. So here you go. Peter Milligan, the object of the game is to collect all the flags before your time is up. You're placed in a complex construction of scaffolding and balloons, question marks, but the scaffolding's unsafe and can drop any second and crush you. Uh-oh, this sounds very, very challenging. All right, let's wait. All right, so just like Applebug, this uses only the keyboard. I got to put my Commodore VIC-20 joystick down and just use the same keys we had before to move around. You must jump below the balloons to be able to float down quickly. Move across to the left, okay? To score points, you must collect the flags, and do this by moving into them like so. Collect flags like Rally Chase? Or I guess without driving. Oh, the color clash. Yes, we are going to see that. We've only seen, I think, only one game that truly had the color clash. The rest of them have been using less colors, and we haven't seen any of that color blending yet. All right, so we can press any key to go. Let's get the disc player up. Who in their right mind would have spent the money on the disc player right now? Oh, that's a good point. This is not based on the arcade at all. So if you're hoping, oh my gosh, it's Crazy Climber, finally, it's coming home. No, it is not. It is not coming home. The only one that comes close is the one we saw on the console, the Emerson Arcadia 2001. So not here. This is a totally different game. That one we saw in the arcades in October of 1980. So fingers crossed we see another Crazy Climber to go home. Okay, so I got to get my keys right. And I'm down here in the bottom right. Goal of the game is collect all of the flags. Got it. Oh, that's not good. They're already having scaffolding fall down and mess up what looks like the ladders. Yeah, this one over here. What? The ladder's gone. How am I supposed to get over there now? All right, we'll just go down the ladder, go over here. Work our way up on the side. You can see most likely programmed in BASIC, tile-based. It's slower paced than anything else we've seen, but I gotta tell you, this game looks really close to a game we haven't seen yet, called Lode Runner. It has vibes of it. Obviously not nearly as smooth, animations terrible, and the goal is different. It's not, bags of gold, you're picking up flags, but it has balloons to move around. Let's see if we can make up to this flag on the side. And let's go down the ladder quickly before the scaffolding gets there. What? The time is up? There's a time limit in this game? Why? Why would you do that? This is so painful. We had the other Pac-Man, Apple Bug, and now this. If you had this on the two on the cassette, it'd just be difficult games. This one is arguably better than Apple Bug, but just by a nod. This is still a pretty fresh idea, the side-scrolling view. This is more similar to Space Panic because there's no jumping mechanic. We had another one on the Commodore VIC-20 called Johnny Jump It that was also in the United Kingdom, and this one feels different. Look, the balloon mechanic, though, that's cool. Getting the balloon and moving across. Now, is there fall damage? Can I walk off the side? Uh-oh, am I just stuck? I think I'm totally stuck. I think the only way to get down is go across. Yeah, it's going across to the balloon. So there is no fall. Yeah, look, I can't walk off the side. So that's a nice touch. You can't fall off and get fall damage, but even still, you can see how it's a little slower and clunky, and we're not being able to program this with a Commodore VIC-20 joystick. If you want to check our links down below of all the games we have played, there was another title that's a little closer to this called Crazy Thief that was for the Commodore VIC-20. And Crazy Thief was the side view platformer, but it actually had a slightly jump mechanics to move around. You were only you were controlling a giant dot though, not a character that looked like a player. Yeah, I'm seeing the rating. I'm going to go 1.5 as well. It is a bad title. Clunky to play. The balloon mechanic to float down is interesting. And this is still a novel idea to take this perspective, like what Space Panic started. There is no jumping. I think it's pretty good they didn't pick jumping. I think if they did add jumping to this, it would be really bad. Be scary. All right, so for Crazy Climber, yeah, of all the games you can play on a home computer, it's a bad game. I'm going to go 1.5 stars, a slight notch above what Apple Bug was, but this compilation proves yet again that in the United Kingdom, do not pick up any compilations of games. You're in for a disappointment. All right, let's see what our next game is. We are still hanging out in the United Kingdom, and now we're on our Acorn Atom. This is Death Satellite. Sounds awesome. Death Satellite. Let's take a look at the artwork for Death Satellite. This is by ANF Software. This is the second release we've ever seen by this company. They are going to be more popular for another game coming out called Chucky Egg. We haven't seen that one yet, but ANF is going to be publishing a few other titles. This is one of their first or earliest releases we've ever seen. And I have examples of this game was part of a competition. Death Satellite, if you can get to the end of the game, you get some money. This is a blurb from Your Computer, the July 1982 issue, and they have the adventure competition. Your time capsule is materialized on a deserted satellite. The only way to escape is find the fuel source to recharge your capsule's energy cells. Can you solve the mystery and avoid the traps on the Death Satellite, or will you fail? Hidden within the game are the answers to the competition we are running with this program entry fee to buyers of Death Satellite. So if you buy the game, you get to the end. It only costs £6, but you have an ability to win. Where's the money? Where's it showing the runner-up? Oh, okay. Introductory offer is £6, but you can also get BBC Model B Roadrunner. Oh, they're going to give away games. That's pretty cool on this this flyer. You only need 12K of RAM in the game. That's a good way to put it, Manly. And then there's another one. It was also in Computing Today, July 1982. Goes to show how many other magazines are out there, even in the United Kingdom. But here you go. We're showcasing the magazines right here. And in that one, you'd be able to win £50 if you got to the end. So you pay £6 to buy the game, and if you get to the end, you get £50. Here's an example of the map given to us by Adventure Online or Adventure Answers, Gaming Answers. So you don't have to make your own map. And there's the full sleeve of the cassette. You can see ANF is just getting started on the software. Look at the title of the game. It just says Adventure 1 on the side. It doesn't even say Death Satellite. It's just Adventure 1. And that's all we have for games on the Acorn Atom. Cross your fingers and toes. We may not be able to play the game. Let's pop it and play Death Satellite. Now, this one I got a helpful walkthrough to play. This is by BenKid77, and while this is an obscure game, there is an article that you can check out by Ringa in Blue that breaks down a lot more information about the history behind this and the beginning of ANF software. All right, so let's pop in and play Death Satellite by Douglas Anderson and Michael Fitzgerald at sometime in July of 1982. All right, let's do this. We're typing in, loading the game up. Please go. Please go. Good. Inside you're a time capsule. We have a torch here. All right, let's see what's up. Take Torch. We materialized on the death satellite. All right, we take the torch. You can't type in N, you got to type in north. We're an open lift shaft, steel wires hanging down in the dark. Let's go north. At a junction on the main passageway to the west is a door operated by a photoelectric beam. Okay, we'll head north again. At an intersection, there's a set of batteries. All right, take those batteries. You have to type a little slow on the Acorn Atom. It's not your usual keyboard. And then head north again. It does not understand N for north. We're in a library. Where's a book? All right, let's ignore the book. Head west. And living quarters in the bed lies a skeleton with an electric key. Get that key from the skeleton. Take key. Okay. Let's head north now. We're going to make our way out of the death satellite and win the 50 pounds. We're in the galley. Food tubes litter the area. There's a large silver canister. Take that canister. Okay. Let's head south. There's no way to be able to figure this one out without the walkthrough. In the living quarters on a bed lies the skeleton. Go east. In the library, the shelves are empty. There's that book. We're going to ignore the book again and head south. We're at an intersection. Go south again. At the junction of a main passageway on the west door operating by a photoelectric beam, go south again. Open lift shaft, steel wires hang down into the dark and head west. Yes, that's right. It was only 1 megahertz. Next to a door in a passageway, we're going to head north. Beside the door with alien symbols inscribed above it, there's a Geiger counter. Okay, unlock the door. Click. The door is open. Nice touch. All right, let's head south. Next to a door in a passageway, let's unlock the door. And the door is open. The click. Drop key. Okay. I guess that means it's dropped south. I want to try, maybe we should try looking. It's too dark to see anything. Okay. On torch. The only way I would have known, I would have said use torch, but no, on torch. And then we go east. In a corridor. We're going south. Inside an empty freight hangar nearby lies a pool of pungent green liquid. Let's head east. In a large storeroom, there is a catwalk going up in a spacesuit. Take the spacesuit. We're going to need that one later. Okay. Yep, go west. Inside an empty freight hangar nearby lies a pool of pungent green liquid. Again, go north. We're back in the corridor. Head west. This is us backtracking. In a recreation hall beside an open lift shaft, steel wires hang down from above. There's a heavy circular weight, and the light is fading. Off torch, because we don't need it anymore. Never would have figured out on and off. All right, let's go north. Next to a door in a passageway, there's the electric key. Replace batteries. Okay. Drop batteries. Okay. Wear suit. There it is. Okay. And yeah, we got a torch, spacesuit, and large silver canister. And we'll head west next. And that's a good place to stop. You kind of get the idea of what Death Satellite is. Because of you can't type in NED for going and moving around. You got to type the full word in. And I will tell you, the map that we saw, the example of the map, it is extremely difficult to navigate around. There's some areas where you can't go forward and back through the same rooms. You have to put variables between how you can move around the game. So it is another very cryptic adventure game from the United Kingdom. However, they made it extremely difficult, obviously, because of the wanting to win the prize. So if you could get to the end, I have no idea how many people actually made it to the end, finished Death Satellite, got the codes, and if anybody even won anything. This is another title. We've had only 2 or 3 in the United Kingdom where you bought the game, and if you did make it to the end, you got a prize. So it was trying to get people to get their software out there. So A&F did something to get themselves out there. But as far as the game itself, I still say it's pretty bad considering everything else you could play on a home computer. The Acorn Atom, sadly, is one of those systems like the ZX80. It came out around the same time. And it's coming on the lower end of all the other home computers. And this one is another game, no exception. Doesn't have as many quality of life as of other adventure games. So I'm going to go, of all the games you could play, Death Satellite is like a 1.5 to 2-star game. Yes. We did have the green screen, but yeah, no wax chests around here. All right, so yeah, I'll say it's still an adventure game that is intriguing for the time, but there's much better ones you could be playing. So I'll say 2 stars. It is a bad title considering everything else. All right, so after Death Satellite, let's see where we're going now. After this commercial break.
You can play Donkey Kong on your ColecoVision, Atari, VCS, or in television
they're
home
showing the
video system.
Coleco
Won't that
version.
be fun?
Don't worry, darling. I'll save you.
Is Mario a 1930s gangster? Ladies and gentlemen, it's the release of Donkey Kong for the Atari VCS. Let's take a look at the box for Donkey Kong. Oh yeah, by Nintendo. Nintendo said yes, we'll allow you to make Donkey Kong on the home consoles. Plays like the real arcade game. This is for the Atari Video Computer System and the Sears Video Arcade, still calling it at the time. And they have on the front the actual arcade cabinet for Donkey Kong to make you feel like we're going to be playing something that looks and feels like the arcade. Let's flip it over on the back. Plays with our Atari VCS joystick. Here's how you play. Donkey Kong the ape has stolen Mario's girlfriend and taken her to the top of a steel fortress. Mario has to get to the top to save her. Hey, they say Mario. Use the joystick control to maneuver Mario across the girders and up the ladders, but as he runs, the ape throws barrels at him and to prevent his progress. Use the fire button to get the jump over the barrels, and will Mario make it to the top and rescue his gal in time? I don't know. He didn't sound like he was rescuing his gal in the commercial. Oh yeah, we should totally talk about that. The different releases that are going to be coming out later are going to be better than this one for sure. But this is the very first time that you could play Donkey Kong at home. The only other time the official Donkey Kong has come home was the Nintendo Game & Watch in the palm of your hand. So this is the very first time, the very first place you would have gotten it on the Atari VCS. We have seen lots of different Donkey Kong variants on the home computer, and that would be like Canyon Climber and Cannonball Blitz, which were really good ones. And this is the first time that from a console you could play something like this. The only thing that comes close to what we've seen so far has been like Pickaxe Pete on the Odyssey 2 or the Tax Avoiders game that we saw on the Atari VCS. And then of course Monkey Shines had some like side view jumping or platforming. But this is the first time, so this idea is still really fresh considering everything else you could be playing on a home console. Yes, we'll see when we boot up the game, that's for sure. So this was in lots of flavors. It came out in a few different places. You can see the very first one just says the Atari Video Computer System. Then after the launch of the Atari Super System, then it was released as the Atari 2600 VCS on the front of the box with a little graphic of Donkey Kong. Still all by Coleco. And then if we flip it over the back, this was the second release. One player only. You can't use 2 joysticks to play this one, sorry. And then we also have the re-release, which was the one that was by Atari themselves, but that was in 1988. And there was another one that was also by CBS Electronics in 1983. This is what you would have seen in magazines at the time. Look at how it says Sega Distribution. Sega Distribution offers a broad line of licensed Coleco video game cartridges. This blows my mind. So this has Nintendo's license where they're allowing Coleco to make the game and it's distributed by Sega? What? That's Sega, Nintendo, and Coleco all, and Atari because it's on the Atari? Wow, what a time we live in. And we also have the cartridge we're going to pop in. This is the second release we've ever seen by Coleco. And that's not the only one. There you go. There's the later box front. So this is the one that was in 1988. They blazon on the front of the box, Atari 2600. Oh, that's true. And there's only 2 screens for this. This isn't the entire arcade experience. There's the back of the later release. They still say Atari 2600 and show you how to play. They still refer to him as Mario. The first time we ever saw him referred to as Mario was on the Nintendo Game & Watch box. And there's our cartridge with some artwork in the back. Oh yeah, with the screenshot. Let's see what they have to say about Donkey Kong, the first time you ever could play it at home on the Atari VCS and Sears Video Arcade. The manual also had different revisions. This is the very first one. Oh, look at this. Plays, sounds, and scores like the Donkey Kong arcade game. Yeah, right. Donkey Kong the Ape has kidnapped Mario's girlfriend. That's all she's known as, is Mario's girlfriend. But he is Mario here. He's not Jumpman. He's not Mr. Video. He is Mario. Make sure the video computer system's connected. Got it. Oh, yeah. Get your Atari VCS, the classic wood grain VCS, plugged in with the AC power adapter. The controller is really easy to use in this one with the red button to jump. That's true. ColecoVision was pretty close to what the arcade had. This one is sadly not. It is not close to that. All right, how do you play? Step 1, push the reset button to get started. Is there any game modes? Does it say if there's any game modes? I don't think there is. They may only have one game variation. So weird to do that on Atari. We go from over 100 game variations playing Space Invaders and Combat to no game variations. All right, so when the first of your 3 Marios appear on the ramps, try to get into the top to save his girlfriend. If Mario is hit by a barrel, he is eliminated. Climb the unbroken ladders to reach the next ramp. Mario cannot climb broken ladders. At this point, would anyone have played the Atari VCS version and never played the arcade? I would think that one of the big reasons people wanted this on their home system is because they played it in the arcade, loved it so much, and thought they were getting the arcade experience on their Atari. Whoa, look at the screenshot! There's Mario's girlfriend at the top. Your remaining Marios are just dashes. The hammer actually looks smaller than that in the game. And then you can see Donkey Kong the ape. Just so you know, that's Donkey Kong the ape up there in the top left. He's not a turd and he's not a gingerbread man. And then those are barrels. See, it says right there, clear. It's barrels. And there's Mario at the bottom. If Mario jumps up and grabs the hammer, you can face the barrels and get them for extra points. He can't climb ladders with the hammer, and the hammer disappears in a few seconds. Time flies. If it reaches 0, Mario is eliminated. So there's no ghost here. It's just time, and then if the time runs out, you die. If you make it to the top, the remaining bonuses add to your score. And if you get to the next screen, because there's only 2 of them, you get to the riveting mission. Remove all the rivets to save the girlfriend. To remove it, you have to run or jump over it, and the rivets disappear. There it is. Wait, what? They're calling those the fireballs? I thought the fireball was what's coming out of the barrel at the bottom of the screen. This is, I can't remember the name of the creatures in the arcade that those are, but I didn't think they were fireballs. Yeah, jump over the fireballs, it says here. And then when you move all the rivets, the game continues to alternate between the 2 screens. It actually gets harder as you go. Keep playing until you run out of Marios. When you control Mario, and there's our point system. Very nice. The instruction booklet is the basic information, but it's only the beginning. You'll find the cartridge is full of special features. Like what? What's this other special features? Experiment with different techniques and enjoy the game? Wait, what, Coleco? What are they talking about? What's the special features? If you know what they are, please tell me. It doesn't look like a real person. It looks like something else. This one has lots of different versions. Like we said before, it's released in NTSC regions as by CBS Electronics in 1983 next year, and then also Pet Boat in PAL regions in 1983, and then there's the 1988 version, and I also have a prototype version by Ben Hudman. Let's pop in and play Donkey Kong by Coleco, programmed by Gary Kitchen, published by Coleco sometime in July 1982. Here we go. Let's play some Donkey Kong. Now, you have to bear in mind, this is still a fresh idea. Let's move around on a side view and jump around. Let's see what happens. By the way, if I push game select, what does it do? Nothing. So there is only one game variation. Whoa, that's so bizarre. I'm so used to flipping the switch and switching out game variations, but this only has one, so we just go in. Hit reset, and we're in. Yes! All right, if we go from the arcade and we go from all the Donkey Kong variations on the home computer to this. Let's see if we get that tiny little hammer. Look at my little hammer. It barely does anything. All right, everybody say it now. Everyone knows exactly what Donkey Kong looks like. Everyone knows what the barrels look like. It's the gingerbread man throwing chocolate chip cookies. It's a turd monster throwing rolling poop down the side. It could be whatever you want. We're still in the age of imagination here. There we go, and it wastes no time. No music, no whimsy. Okay, we don't get the pause at the top, and it looks like the fireballs do stop whenever we break the rivet, so I can essentially trap them on the inside. No way, really? Your mom did? I wasn't paying attention. Okay, so I'm seeing in the chat the people's first impressions when they saw it in 1982. Oh, let's see if the fall damage works. What? He doesn't. There's no even fall animation. Mario just kind of stops on the edge. Oh, that's it. All lives are gone. We got to start over again. Reset. Yep, back to the first screen, and then we're in. Yeah, no intermission, no music, and notice when we died, there wasn't any animation. It just kind of happened. We just were dead, and they played some little ditty, and then we moved on to the next scene. Well, I'll tell you the truth. I wouldn't be as harsh with this as I would be with Pac-Man. This at least has some merit, has a slight feel that you're playing something at least close to the arcade, but it's not as detrimental to the quality of Atari games as Pac-Man would be. But that's pretty much the most positive thing I could say about Donkey Kong. And it really means because we played so many games on the home computer that are variations of this, that it's hard to see that they could have something better. No, the fireball switched directions. But as far as home consoles go, a Pickaxe Pete is a pretty good time for a side-scrolling platform, or not side-scrolling, a side-view platformer. Man, those fireballs are tricky. So here we go, we're running our last life. Maybe I should trap it on the outside so I can get around. That's a good point. Yeah, I like that. Yeah, we need to trap you on the outside. Come on, take the bait. There you go. Oh. And that's it. Lives are over. We already saw the 2 screens. We go back to the beginning. Now, if you've seen the interviews that Gary Kitchen has done, he admits there wasn't a large time frame for him to develop the game. What? That looked like hit detection right there. So this obviously was a rush, and no small part to what Atari and Coleco were doing. So the blame should go to Coleco, because they were the ones that were tasking Gary Kitchen to get this done at a certain time frame. This was a rush because the rights for Donkey Kong were quickly showing up, or about to be shown up on the home computer and consoles, and they want to get this out as soon as possible. We'll make our way over there. Yes, and we rescue whoever that is in the top. All right, so now's the time. If you haven't already, throw out those reviews. If you had first played this, would you consider this a bad game of all the other games you could play on a home console? Or is this still around the average range for all the games you could play? Because it is playable. I am able to move around well as Mario. I'm able to play what feels like Donkey Kong. Oh, there you go. So I can't... These guys don't even go up the ladders like they do in the arcade. I only can use this hammer for that one fireball, and that's it. And then I just gotta wait for the hammer to be done any moment there. Okay, there we go. And then we keep going to the next one. Go down the ladder, nice. Yeah, I'm seeing bad, so 2 stars from Victor. I believe that's what we did on Chronologically Gaming to give Pac-Man on the Atari VCS. There we go. Yeah, on a home console, because if we base this on every video game we've seen so far, this would be way low. This would be down there in the definitely bad range. And then our last one, that is our last one. But because we're thinking of what you could see on a home console, there is only a handful of games that are using the side-scrolling view for a platformer, and it is the first time you could play Donkey Kong, and it does look slightly like Donkey Kong, or resembles it a little bit. Oh, yes. I got a 4 stars from Manly. Yeah, 3 stars from Kleiss. Yeah, if you love this in the arcades, you would be excited for it. I gotta be honest, though. We've played everything so far up to this point. Seeing Donkey Kong and playing it for the first time like this, and knowing this was the first time you could play it, I actually enjoyed it. It was pretty fun, and it was still exciting. So I'm actually not going to rate this in the bad range, down here in our 2-star rating. I'm thinking this is closer to what you see around the average range. So I'm looking there. You got 2.5 stars from Rich. Yeah, oh, that's true. Burger Time. I would definitely give Burger Time higher. But as far as Donkey Kong, it is not as detrimental as something like Pac-Man. It was still really fun, and it's still a fresh, fun game to play, considering everything else you could play up to this point. We know, though, this year in 1982, we're going to see the release on Mattel and Television and the release on the ColecoVision, so I know it's going to get better as far as home consoles, but we're right here before, and if you were in the store and you got this before all those other releases, before ColecoVision even came out, this would still be pretty exciting. So I'd say for Donkey Kong, I'm going to give it a 3-star rating. It's not bad. I'm going to say around the average range for all the games you could play on a home console. Still plays well and fun. Fun time. Appreciate all the chats from everybody out there for the release of Donkey Kong. And now, it is time for our evening to come to a close. We're going to keep playing everything under the sun. Tune in next episode for some new games on the TRS-80 color computer. And do you think you know all the shooters in the arcade? We have one you probably have never seen before next time. That's it for today, and like I always say, you don't focus on the damsel in distress. We're all here to get the points, right? Hey everybody, thanks for checking out the channel and joining me on my quest to play every single video game in order of release. We'll be streaming live every weekday at 9 p.m. Central, so join us and let us know if you miss any games along the way. This video would not be possible without Launchbox, RetroArch, and MAME. Tell all your friends there's some crazy guy named Chronologically Gaming trying to play every single video game. We have links down below that'll send you to places like our Discord and Patreon, and one that says all the video games we've ever played. If you go there, it's a list of everything, and you can click right to the game you want to see. Chronologically Gaming is the name to look for. We are perpetually retro, and we will catch you next time.